HTML is nothing but the hypertext markup language. This is the basic language used to create the web page. Who is the father of HTML? There is none other than Tim Berners-Lee. HTML 4.01, which is most frequently and widely used markup language. Hello to all, a warm welcome to my new session on multimedia and animation. I'm your Revati ma'am, faculty from the Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram, First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. In my today's session, we are going to discuss about Unit 1, that is nothing but the web designing. Anyway, let's see the topic of the day, that is nothing but the origins and evaluation of HTML and basic text markup. Okay, fine. So what is my chapter name? Here it is web design. So what is web? Web is nothing but the collection of documents, or it is a document. When I say it is a document, what kind of document? I can have the text, I can have the numbers, I can have the image, I can have the video, and I can have the audio. Okay, fine. Now, what is website? Website is nothing but the collection of web pages. Web page is nothing but the web. Now, how I run the web page? How I'm going to open the web page? For that, I required application software. So what is the application software here? That's nothing but this software design based on the user requirement as known as application software. So to open any website or web, I required web browser. So which are the web browser you are familiar with? That is nothing but the Google Chrome, Opera, Mozilla, and so on. So this is all about basic about the web. Okay, fine. Now, if I want to create web page or website, what I required? I required the markup language. And what's the basic markup language we have? That's nothing but the HTML. So what is HTML stands for? That is hypertext markup language. It's a standard markup language used to create web page. So what is web page? It's nothing but the web. So what is HTML? HTML is nothing but the hypertext markup language. This is the basic language used to create the web page. What it provides? It provides this series of elements. By using series of elements, we can able to create attractive web pages. So, by using HTML, I can able to describe this structure of web page. In the sense what? How the content want to be look like. What are the things you want to include, how you are going to display the content, all those things we are going to describe by using HTML. Now, this HTML element, okay, tells the browser that how to display the content. Okay, in which fashion you have to display the content. Who is responsible for telling this one? That's nothing but the HTML. So here HTML elements tells the browser that how to display the content. So what are the HTML elements? We know that is nothing but the paragraph. We know headings. We know tables. Not only tables, we can have the list, we can have the link, we can have the forms, frames, and so on. All those things we are going to learn in my upcoming session. So what is HTML? It's a markup language. It's used to design web page. It describes the structure of the web page. Okay, fine. Now, let's discuss the origin and evaluation of HTML. Okay, see here, it is introduced in the year 1991 by Sir Tim Berners-Lee. Okay, who is the father of HTML? That is none other than Tim Berners-Lee in the year 1991, but it is not officially released. When it is officially released, that is in the year 1995, and the version of HTML is 2.0. So HTML 2.0 introduced in the year 1995. Later, okay, HTML 4.01 was published in the year 1999, and it is a major version of HTML. So, which is the major version of HTML? That is nothing but the HTML 4.01. But nowadays it is HTML 5. Okay, fine. See here, if I consider first version, okay, it was released in the year 1993, okay, with the intention of sharing information. So what is web page? Why we want web page? To share and display the information. For that we have HTML programming language. It can be readable and accessible via the web browser. Suppose if I want to open the web page or website, what I required, what's my minimum requirement here is, I must have the web browser. But not many of the developers were involved in creating websites. In the sense, whatever the HTML 1.0 we have, it is not so flexible. So that most of the developers are not using the HTML 1.0. So the language was not growing. So the HTML 1.0 is not so flexible, not so user-friendly. For that reason, none of the developers were using HTML 1.0 to create the web page as well as website. Okay, fine. Then we have HTML 2.0. It is introduced, in the sense what? It is published in the year 1995, which contained all the features of HTML 1.0 along with that additional features. So, which remain the standard for markup language. So, most of the developers, they started using HTML 2.0 because it provides additional features than the HTML 1.0. Then we have HTML 3.0. Okay, it also improved version of HTML 2.0. So it provides more characteristics, more features, more facilities. For that reason, most of the developers started using HTML 3.0. But what is the disadvantage of HTML 3.0? So HTML 3.0 provides new additional features as well as characteristics. So these additional characteristics slow down the browsing in applying further improvements. In the sense what? It slow down the performance. So this is the disadvantage of HTML 3.0. Now we have HTML 4.01, which is most frequently and widely used markup language. It was a standard for all the markup language. So nowadays we have HTML5. HTML5 can be said for an extended version of HTML 4.01, and it was published in the year 2012. Now, if I consider HTML5, see here, the HTML5 was once again re-released in the year 2014 and it supports multimedia content. So, what is multimedia? So, what is multi? Multi in the sense what? Multiple form used to share the resources. Okay, so multimedia act as it is mainly used to interact between user and digital world. Okay, fine. Now, see here, it supports multimedia content as well as most interactive features as well as mobile devices. So, these are the origins of HTML. So, initially it started with the version HTML version 1. But nowadays we are using HTML version 5. Now see here, if I consider HTML, it provides new semantics, okay, which is better than other HTML version. So it is better document structure and it provides improved accessibility. So what is semantics? Semantics is nothing but the rules. Now, it provides application program interface for accessing devices like hardware as well as software features. So, these are the two new add-on features of HTML5. Now, if I see the basic syntax of HTML, suppose if I want to use HTML, what I must know? I must know the basic tags. So whatever the thing, I'll write within the opening and closing angular bracket that is called as tags. So HTML document consists of several tags. See here, if I consider this one, this is the small snippet. Okay, see, this one I'm going to call it as tag. So tags defines the structure and content of the web page. So how the web page actually looks like, what are the things I want to include my web page, all those things I'm going to write in my tags. Now see here, document type HTML. It tells what kind of document, what is the version of the HTML I'm using. Now, the HTML starts from HTML tag. Okay, inside that, I have the head tag. Inside head tag, I'm going to write the title tag. For example, if I want to give the title to my web page, where I'm writing? In my title tag. So, this is the opening of title tag and this is the closing of the title tag. Okay, fine. See, now what I want to do? I want to close the head tag. So, dear student, please make a note here. Before going to open the or start the body tag, what I want to do? I want to close the head tag. After the closing of the head tag, I can able to start the body tag. Now H1, what is H1? That's nothing but the heading 1. H1 stands for heading 1. Now at the same time, I'm going to close the heading. Then I have the paragraph. For that, I'm going to have the tag called P. So what is P? P stands for paragraph tag. Why I want P tag to align my document? See here, in my web page, if I have 100 lines and I want to display the lines in the form of paragraph, then I'll go with the paragraph tag. Then I'll close the body tag. At the same time, I'm going to close the HTML tag. This is the basic program. Okay, simple program and most expected program. Now, basic text markup. So what are the basic tags we must know when I create the web page? First one, heading. Suppose if I want to enter any heading, okay, so I'll start with the heading tags. Headings are used to add hierarchy and structure to content on a web page. Now, HTML has 6 levels of heading. How to display headings? That starts from H1, okay, then up to H6. Okay, fine. Suppose if I want to display the content in the larger size, then I'll go with the H1. If I want to display the content in some small size, for example, okay, the size is 12, then I'll go with the H6. See, this is the simple example I have. That is H1, this is a level 1 heading. Okay, fine. If I consider the output, say this is my output. The size of the output is going to increase. Okay. Now, if I go with the H2, so this is my output. And H3, so this one is my output. Okay, fine. So, heading tags are mainly used to align and display the content. Fine. Now, I have the paragraph. So, what is paragraph? Paragraphs are used to separate block of text. So, when I want to separate the block of text, then I'll go with the paragraph tag. So, if I use P tag, then it is called paragraph tag. See, okay, I want to display the content in the form of paragraphs, then I'll use the paragraph tag. Fine. Now, I have another tag that is bold and italic. Suppose if I want to highlight the text, or if I want to display the text in the form of italic, then I'll go with the bold and italic. See here, I have the paragraph and I just want to display only this much portion in bold. So, I'll use B tag. Now, to display in the form of italic, I'll go with the I tag. B stands for bold and I stands for italic. Now you can able to see the output. So this is the bold tag and this one is my italic tag. Fine. If I consider another basic text markup, that's nothing but the underline the text. There are certain time I want to highlight the text or information. So what I will do? I have the habit to underline the text. For that, in HTML, we have U tag. So what is U? U stands for underline. And you can able to see the output. Okay. So whenever you want to highlight or underline the text, then you can go with the underline text tag. Now, strike through text. There are certain times you have to cut the text or you have to strike the text. For that, you can have S. Okay. Or you can have the tag called strike. So you can use both the tags. One is S and another one is strike. And when you use both the tags, you'll get same kind of output. So first one, I'll use the tag S. So this is my output for the tag S. Second time, I'll use strike tag. So this is my output. So when I use S or strike, I'll get same output. Now, superscript and subscript. So if I want to write x to the power 2 or if I want to write x2, see, this is my superscript and this is my subscript. So superscript and subscripts are used for mathematical or scientific notations. For that, to perform superscript, I have the tag called SUP. And to perform subscript, I have the tag called sub. And I have the example. Okay, fine. See here, the boiling point water 100 degree Celsius. The formula for water is H2O. Now let's see how to write subscript, that is H2O. So here 2 is nothing but the subscript, whereas 100 degrees Celsius, okay, this is nothing but the superscript. Anyway, dear student, in my today's class, I started with what is HTML. Along with that, we have discussed version of HTML. Along with that, some of the basic markup language. That's nothing but the some of the tags you must know while writing HTML code. Okay, fine. Anyway, dear student, in my next session, I'm going to deal with 3 more very interesting topics, that is images, lists, as well as tables. Anyway, dear student, let's meet in the next session with more information. Until that, keep watching and keep learning. Thank you.